Well, hi again to all my Facebook friends who have been following my online escapades with these crazy dating sites for rich people who are looking for love online. And if you have been following what's going on, then you know that I put together a profile on Sugar Mommy Meat for my friend James Butler without his knowing about it. And I've gotten a ton of hits from women who would like to hook up with him. And just as a quick reminder, here's the picture that I used for James right off of his Facebook pictures. And I've gotten a ton of women who are interested in meeting James. However, I was not so thrilled with their attitude. They were treating him like a firefighting raw piece of meat, and I care more about my friend than to just toss him to a bunch of she-wolves. They all have firefighting fantasies. Why don't they just want him for who he is? Now, I have gotten a number of messages, private messages from guy friends here at Facebook who have told me, look, Leslie, you're thinking from a girl's brain, and you girls want to be loved for who you are, but guys aren't necessarily quite so picky. Like James might be okay with a woman who only wants him while he's in his fire gear. And I got thinking about that. James is a nice guy, and if a woman really needs for him to be in a fighting suit to make her feel complete, I bet he'd do that for her. Before I get to the new inquiries on James, I also want to update you on something a lot of people are curious about. One lady, her name is Isabel, very hot cougar, and she's going to be hosting a bachelorette party for some of her rich cougar friends. She asked James if he had any other firefighting friends who might be interested in being party favors at the bachelorette party. I sent Isabel this picture of Brad Loon, who is a good friend of James and is going to paramedic school right now. And you know how it is when you're a starving student. You could maybe use some extra money, maybe use a new car. So I sent this picture of Brad to Isabel, and I heard back right away that he was perfectly acceptable. Okay, well, back to James. So I sent a reply on James's behalf to the 50 some odd cougars asking them to, since there's only one of him and so many of them, if they could respond with a little bit of information. He wanted to know their net worth and what their big fantasy was that they had involving him. And so I chose the top 4, and I'm going to share them with you. And I thought we could kind of make this an audience participation thing. Maybe if you could get a piece of paper and a pencil, you could vote on which one you think would be best for James. So here we go. These are the top 4. The first one here, her name is Gina, and Gina has a net worth of $16 million, and her fantasy is she wants to be a librarian, and she wants James to save her from a burning library. So that's Gina, choice number 1. Choice number 2, we have Bet, and Bet looks a little forward, if you know what I mean. She actually pasted James's face in Photoshop on top of some other guy that she's leading around by his necktie. And her net worth is $48 million. She wants to dominate James while he's in his fire gear. So that's Bet, choice number 2. Choice number 3, I had to think about this one because this here's Patricia. She is a Steelers fan, as you can see, and normally that would just put her right out. We wouldn't even consider someone who's not a Patriots fan. However, there are extenuating circumstances, starting with a net worth of $25 million. But she also wants James to dominate her while she's dressed in Steelers gear, and he is in his fire gear with a Patriot logo on the helmet. And I thought that sounded kind of hot. Choice number 4. Now, she looks kind of scary. This is Letitia. And I think what she was going for was like that cougar look, kind of like arr, arr. And she probably is prettier if she's not doing this with her face. However, her net worth is $75 million, and she really stresses that $50 million of it is in liquid assets. And Letitia wants James to dress in his fire gear and dance around a fire pole. I'd love to hear what your opinion is, which of these cougars would be best for James, and I will let you know what the majority thinks.